Hello everyone, good morning. Today we will be discussing about the first unit of BBCS 185, that is Bioinformatics Skill Enhancement course. As I said in my previous session that we will be discussing regularly the topics of this course, that is Bioinformatics. And today I will be discussing with you the first unit, that is Introduction to Bioinformatics. In this unit, we will be knowing about what are the basics of computers and basic operations. And before that, we will be knowing about the definition of bioinformatics, what is bioinformatics, and how this bioinformatics is useful for biological studies and to conduct biological research. And apart from that, in this particular chapter, you will be knowing about what is internet, what are the various platforms and various services that are being provided by the internet, and some basics about the Microsoft Office. And apart from that, you will be knowing about the role of supercomputers in the field of bioinformatics. And then, of course, about the applications of bioinformatics, we will be studying in this unit. And some important terms that are regularly used in bioinformatics will be introduced to you in this particular session. So hence, I request you all to go through your study material, that is Unit 1, and know about all these basic terms. Now I will be sharing my screen with you where you will know about the content of this unit. Let us go there. Hi. So this is how our first unit looks like, that is Unit 1, Introduction to Bioinformatics. So as I said, this is the structure of this unit, and every unit in the IGNO format has got a structure which tells you about the contents that you will be studying in this particular course. Yeah, so coming to the introduction of this chapter, so this is the purpose of this chapter here is to sensitize you towards the basics of bioinformatics. And as you all know that in our daily research, tremendous amount of data is being generated. And to store the data and use the data whenever you require, we need to have a platform. That platform is being provided by the bioinformatics, which says that computers are being used to collect, store, retrieve, analyze, integrate biological and genetic information. Not only that, the stored biological data can then be used for the prediction of diseases, drug discovery, biomarker identification. That means here what I am going to say here is this bioinformatics is a platform which will help you not only to store the data which is produced in the laboratories, but you can use the data whenever you want. And the purpose of the storing and using the data is to predict the disease and to develop drugs and to make biomarker identification. Okay, that's why where you are going to use both the biological data and as well as the computers. That's why it is called as biological informatics and nothing but bioinformatics. See, for bioinformatics, there are so many definitions you can coin, but the well-known one is like bioinformatics helps you to understand in biology in terms of molecules and apply information technology, IT techniques to understand and organize the information associated with these molecules. Okay, and if you go further in this chapter, you will be knowing about the applications of bioinformatics. However, in this pie chart, you can see how this bioinformatics playing a key role of interdisciplinary field of study. That means bioinformatics is using the data of produced from the laboratory, okay, and the help of statisticians, with the help of computer science, taking the key consideration of biologists. So this bioinformatics is going to be a combination of data, computers, statisticians with special emphasis to biology. Okay. That's why you might be hearing here the new terminology like biomathematician, biostatistician, computational biologist. For a undergraduate student like you, these terms would be somewhat new, but these are the upcoming areas of bioinformatics, which will definitely give what is called as career platform for the students and researchers to do better in this field. So this is background of bioinformatics. And once again, I would like to emphasize here is since we are having online session, that too I'm going to record videos for your what is called as educational purpose. So I'm just taking the key points of this chapter because I'm not going to explain the entire chapter word by word or sentence by sentence. I want to make you feel what is there in this unit so that whenever you read on your own, you will get a understanding. If you go to this video prior to reading, you'll get an idea. Okay, this is how this chapter sounds like. Okay, that is my objective of this providing these videos. Okay, and coming to this, what is called as introduction of this bioinformatics. As I said, this bioinformatics an interdisciplinary field of science combining computer science, mathematics, statistics, biology, and engineering, whose aim is to develop methods, softwares, tools, database, understand biological data. Okay, so the main purpose of bioinformatics is using mathematics, statistics, and engineering applications, including computer sciences, to understand the biological data. Yeah, dear learners, if you observe in the self-learning material, at regular intervals, we are giving self-assessment questions. So once you complete reading the first paragraphs of this unit, you need to answer these questions. That will help you whether you have understood, whether you have gone through the topics which we are discussing prior to these executives. Okay. Now coming to the expected learning outcomes. So what you are going to gain after reading this chapter? That means you are going to have an understanding of bioinformatics. You will be able to define it and you can give the importance of what is called as terminologies and bioinformatics as well. And you will be able to list various language programs that are being used in the field of bioinformatics. And also you will be able to define supercomputers and also explain the applications of bioinformatics. And so as I said in the earlier discussion, the key component of this bioinformatics is both biology and as well as information technology. So that's why let us start discussing something about the basics of computer operations. Okay, so here coming to the key points to be learned here is like what is input, what is processing, what is storage, and what is output. I know by this time many of you might have started accessing computers at your home, at your office, at your school level. Okay, and majority of you would be knowing about what is input, what is processing, what is storage, and what is an output device. But since we are dealing with all sorts of students, we are going to once again emphasize on the basics of these computer operations. First one is input. So this is in simple words, this is nothing but where you are going to give instructions to the computer. Instructions to the computer. For example, if you want to write something on a white page, you are going to give some input. Okay, so that input here you are going to use by using keyboard, mouse, microphones, cameras, scanners, and other various tools. For example, now I am recording this video session with you. That means I am giving my input. So for making these highlights, I am using my mouse cursor. And for recording my voice, I am using microphone. Okay, and to type something, I am using keyboard. So like this, the tools, you can say the accessories that are used to give input to the computer are nothing but the input devices through which I am giving the computer certain set of instructions. Okay, and these instructions which I am giving to this computer will be processed. They are going to be processing. Okay, so this is an important and central operation of a computer. So processing is the central operation. Whatever I am giving instructions, it is going to process them. And for this processing, it might be using some arithmetic calculations and some electronic signals. Okay, based on these things, it is going to process. And this processing unit of the computer is here as CPU, Central Processing Unit. Okay, and Central Processing Unit processes all the instructions given by the user, and then it will give the output. So since we are not dealing with hardcore computer sciences here, I am not going to into the details of all the processing methods. Just know there is input, there is a processing system which is controlled mainly by the central processing unit. And one more thing, learners, here whenever you are reading this bioinformatics course, focus on these acronyms like CPU and RAM, which is called random access memory, and ALU, that is arithmetic and logic unit, control unit. So like this, all these acronyms will help you in further understanding of the content discussed in this course. Okay, and next moving to the next part of this computer application called as storage. Here, the storage is useful to store the data and instructions. And many of you might be using smartphones these days, and you know, generally when you are going to buy any smartphone, you look for the camera, you look for the what is called as RAM, speed, and at the same time you are going to look into the storage capacity of your phone. Nowadays, mobile phones are coming with almost are like more than 1 terabyte of storage capacity. Okay, storage is nothing but how much data that device can store. Okay, so that means this data, whatever you are going to store in this computer, is going to be stored either in internal storage devices, or external storage. Okay, so internal storage means the space, the hard disk that is present inside the computer is nothing but your internal storage, and the external storage is nothing but your pen drive. You can imagine DVDs. Okay, any external storage devices, any hard disk if you are going to use, they are external storage devices. Okay, and further coming after storage, the another operationally important aspect is output. Okay, so output is nothing but the result of the processing, you can say. That means first what we are doing, we are giving instructions, that is input. Those inputs are being processed by CPU, and then they are going to be stored somewhere, and then the storage is nothing but an output form, that is the processing of the result. Okay, and these devices are also called as output devices. For example, the instructions I am giving to this computer are being displayed on this monitor. You can see this monitor. This monitor is nothing but a what is called your output device. You can see here monitors, speakers, projectors, printers. All these are the output devices. For example, I am going to print this page. I will get a printout with the help of a printer. That is an output device. So if you see the basic flow of what is called as operation, a flow of information inside the computer, it is like input, then processing, then after processing, you get an output. At the same time, if you are want to store this result, you can store. That's why input, processing, output. In addition to that, you can store the process also. This is the first section of this chapter.